know, somebody else I know.
I can't imagine who that'd be. Anyway, well, it looks like it's going to be a beautiful day in the neighborhood here.
Yeah.
We got rain off and on about all day yesterday.
Yeah, I'm afraid we're going to get it here again today. It's cloudy, and I'm hearing lightning crashes. I was working on trying to pull that up, look at it, where all the blooming lightning was when I first keyed up. And then my receiver hadn't warmed up to where I could get it on. And I don't know during the net last night if I got it off track or what, but it's showing rain from now till 11 o'clock anyway. Pull the moving map up. I do declare I about had enough of it myself, but I ain't the one that makes the choices there. Over.
Yeah. Well, what's that old saying? All the fogs you have in August means all the heavy snow in the winter. What I've seen so far.
Yeah, that storm cells south down around Atlanta. I don't know why this map ain't there, but the bottom of it comes right across me, so I'm at the very top of it, just south of me. It's just yellow as everything with lightning, so that's why all the crashes are in there and carrying on and whatnot and so on. But I ain't having no problem hurting you there. Over.
W4 JPL.
Hey, 401. John boy, where in the world you been? Why ain't you still there? I will. Anyway, W4 JPL, D4OUM.
Morning. Heard David here, K4YBC2, I think. So I'll sort of kind of give it to him. Good morning, boys and girls. I was at the beach for a couple of days visiting. I went to the Outer Banks, which I don't too much like, but my sister was there, and I spent some good time with my sister. So I'm back, ready for Illinois. K4YB, W4 JPL.
Okay, good morning, John. W4JPL, K4YBC. It's good to have you back. Hope you enjoyed your trip. Man, it was foggy over here last night. I was looking at my surveillance cameras that came on, and all I was seeing was fog. Anyway, good morning to you, Bill, and good morning, Terry. And yeah, you're right, Terry. We may have some big snows this winter. It's been a freaky summer, so we may have a freaky winter. I don't know. Anyway, K04SSY, K4YBC.
Anybody else lurking?
M4LQ.
Go ahead there, Steve, and if don't nobody else come in, give it back to me.
Okay, Billy. Yeah, just turn this thing on. I don't think it's quite adjusted right. But anyway, good morning from Shelby. And sky's clear and blue here. Static's coming in from somewhere else, though. So just thought I'd drop in. N4LQ. Go ahead, Billy.
WA4LLR.
Go ahead, Dave.
Good morning, guys. Running a little late this morning. Just now got the rig turned on, so I don't know who is what. 61 degrees and sunny up here in Burnsville. So, Billy, give it to whoever. WA4LLR.
Yeah, all righty. Well, good morning to everyone. Yeah, all that lightning static is right down here on top of me, a little bit south of me. The bulk of it's over Atlanta, but I am the skirts of it is right here where I'm at. So it's a noisy mess. I got up, and usually it's not as light at 6 o'clock as it was this morning. But there was an old yellow hue out in the yard, and darn. So this old cloud coverage and stuff it's got us pretty much covered up down here. It's not raining. It shows that it is, but it's not according to that weather app. But I mean, it could be any second, and the lightning crashes are very prevalent here where I'm hearing everybody pretty much except John, and I'm sure it's the end of the antenna, and as far as we are apart, I still struggle. He may be on 500 this morning. I don't know, but I hear him, but it's a hard struggle with this lightning to be able to get everything. So anyway, good morning to all. I'm back over again. Tony, WD4OU, KO4SS.
WD4OU. Well, good morning, everybody. And yeah, 'cause it's a tad foggy over here in Burbank too. Not real bad, but it's foggy. And you mentioned that weather app. I'll tell you what's true. Here for the past, I don't know how long it's been several weeks anyway. I don't know what's going on with my radar. It'll show that it's pouring down the rain. You look out and the sky is just as clear as it can be, and then it'll show that it's clear. It'll be pouring down the rain. So I don't know what's going on. Maybe they've got Burbank confused with Moscow or something. I don't know what it is. But anyway, well, I talked to old Danglebaugh Bear yesterday and late, and he was in a much better mood. He got some good news. Lion Rascal said he's going to be in here this morning, so hopefully he'll get in here and say hey to everybody. So there you go. W4JPL, WD4OU.
You also think you live at the beach. W4GZ. Okay. Let's see, what are we doing here? WD4OU, I'm in a group, W4JPL. And hi, Brandon. Hello to everybody else that's in there. There's Steve and Dave and Cuz and Billy. Well, I'm running a 500, so Bill, I can't do no more than this. I'll put a bigger antenna up, I guess, and give me one of them there 75-meter 3-element beams and point it at you. All I need is $1 million. 70 degrees, not a cloud in the sky. It's probably going to be another cooker. I had a good time with my sister down at the beach. We went to the Hatteras Lighthouse, and the second day we were there, I kept a promise to Miss Maggie. She wanted to go to some quilt stores to buy quilt material because she wanted, quote unquote, some beachy quilt material. And that was like giving a monkey the keys of the banana plantation. She had a party and she bought all kinds of stuff. So she's happy, I'm happy. K4YBC in a group, W4JPL.
KM4ICL. Good morning, John.
W4JPL, K4YBC, recognizing Mr. Chad in there. Okay, John, real fine. Yeah, I bet Maggie did have her a good time, that's for sure. And the 500 sounding really good this morning, John. it doesn't. The audio on it is just a smidgen higher pitched than what maybe I'm used to, but it sounds really good, real good. And yeah, we had some fog last night, but it's mostly burning off right now. 62 degrees up here. So anyway, I got to take my sister-in-law up to the doctor this morning. She's got to get one of those arthritis shots. Terry, I believe you had something like that. You had a shot in your back or something. I think you said it really helped you. Well, she's going to get one too, so hope she'll have no problems with it. And oh, not much else here. Just keep it going. KO4SSY, K4YBC.
Let's see here. So it goes to Steve. Steve gives it to Dave. Dave gives it to Brandon. Brandon gives it to Chad, and then back. Go ahead, Steve.
Sorry about that, Steve.
Oh, that's okay. It's N4LQ. I can't figure out how this list goes here, but I know I give it to Dave, so I can handle that as long as I know who it goes to next. Yeah, I'm trying to pick that thing up a little bit. Wonder how I'm getting into Burbank up there. But, DX, that radar of yours, maybe it's the reflection from all that pollution in downtown Burbank, Terry. Maybe that's the problem. I don't know. But we don't have any of that here in Shelby. It's a beautiful day, and it's supposed to get up to 83, and maybe a little chance of a thunderstorm tonight. Let's see, I'm running the AF68 LMAC, and been playing around with this audio compressor made back in 1959. Thought I'd see how it works with the D104. And I am live streaming this thing just to have some fun. Looks like there's one person watching it. That's me. Real popular video there. So let's see, Dave, good morning to you. I heard somebody the other day talking about prostate cancer. Somebody had prostate cancer. Was that DB that you all were talking about? Because I had that back in 2008, and they did a proton radiation number on me, and I'm still kicking. So WA4LLR, N4LQ.
Okay, and recognizing Whiskey Alpha 4 Delta Hotel. You'll come right after KN4RCL. N4LQ and the group, WA4LLR. Good morning to everybody. And let's see, Terry, glad to hear that DB got some good news. And Steve, good to hear that you had it and kicked it. Praise the Lord for that. I can sure tell you're running the compressor this morning. I can hear fans and I can hear the flies walking on the ceiling in between words. But man, you got some stout audio. Dave, hope your sister-in-law does well with the arthritis shot. I'm on the ART-13 this morning, and I know I started off a little high, but it'll drift down to be on frequency here in a couple of minutes. But anyway, let's see. Yesterday I had to go visit a church member that's getting ready to shake off this mortal coil and transition. Spent some time with her and her family, and got a few other things done. We're keeping our 8-year-old granddaughter this week, and get to do the homeschooling for her. So that's good done as well. Not a whole lot else going on here, so I wonder how things are in Steigerweed, Brandon. W4GUZ, and the group WA4LR.
WB4NKL.
Okay, good morning to everybody. Hello, Cliff. And I couldn't tell you who you come after, but I'm sure they know. Just waking up. I actually slept all night, so I guess the back is getting a little better. I spent most of the day yesterday over at Sam's, W4LNZ. We started the task of replacing the water pump on a Toyota Tundra V8. And let me just say that Chevrolets, Fords, Dodges, Nissans, Subarus, the list goes on and on, are much easier to work on. Just had to keep pulling back layers and layers and layers of compressors, air steering pumps, alternators. We're all the way back to the cylinder wall, I think, is where the water pump's at. But anyway, I had a good visit with him. I got a guy coming up from Greensboro to pick up one of my Volkswagens that I sold with a tear in my eye, I'm sure, as it goes down the road, but you can't drive but one vehicle at a time, and I am thinning the herd. Anyway, good morning. 60 degrees here, very comfortable sleeping weather last night, and hopefully the sun's going to pop out. It's either misting the rain or really foggy. Not sure which, but the cars are wet. And for RCL, W4GUZ.
AM RCL. Good morning. 95 Brandon. 59 degrees up here on the mountain in Burnsville. So, ain't not much going on. Looks like it's going to be a halfway decent day. They're calling for rain, so we're going to see if it rains. Most of us been towards the weekend, according to Johnson City News. And I was just wondering, Terry, you reckon that Billy Bob's mutt is about ready to run away with him? And he can't keep them on, and they want to run away. That's why we need that bus Rick to get us some mouses, send the mouses here, get us some cats, and you round up some cats, and we'll make it a cat house. Then we'll throw a dog in there for the cats. Then and see, that's why you're so upset about Biden cheating you out of a water buffalo, because you planning on putting some of them water buffalo in the back of that cat house. I know you weren't just going to put them down by the creek. I know better than that. KM4RCL. Go ahead, Delta Hotel Station. I forgot the rest of your call. KM4RCL. Mr. Bill in Darlington, if I can't hear you, but go ahead.
See if you can raise WA4DD8.
Yeah, I got it, guys. Let me see if I have it. Yeah, good morning, all. This is Whiskey Alpha 4, Delta Hotel. Good morning. It's been a while since we've been down here. Handle here is Bill, Bravo India Lima. We're in Darlington, South Carolina. We're on a Collins 32V3 transmitter and 75A1 receiver, using a 270-foot inverted L antenna. Anyway, temperature here is about 76 degrees. It's going to be a hot one here. It's been hot here in Darlington. Good to hear everybody on here. I'm hearing most of everybody, just a lot of CO2 inside. I not sure who I turned it to, but whoever's supposed to get it, pick it up. This is Whiskey Alpha 4, Delta Delta Hotel.
Go, Cliff.
Okay, Bill, WA4DDH, WB4NKL. Sounded pretty good here in the East Tennessee. Copied you fine. We got some static crashes going on. Good morning to everybody. I'm not sure who all was here. I think Dave was talking when I got fired up. But 68 degrees here. Looks like it's going to be a nice day. We had 2 or 3 more showers overnight. I hadn't looked at the rain gauge yet, but I guess it's got some more rain in it. More wet rain that we don't need. I think we've got plenty for right now. Go ahead, Rick. WK4R, WB4NKL.
WK4R. No way tell me where to give it next, but I'm sure y'all figure it out. Good morning, everybody. Hello to Bill in Darlington. Bill, I was born and raised not far from you, down in Pamplico down there. Let's see, mother's still there. And I'm trying to figure out if I'm supposed to cut grass today or not. So far, I made it like I'm not. Who's ever turning his way to WK4?
You know it's your buddy.
It's me, Naphead. Get in here in time, you know. So louse around half a day. Think you can just come in here and waltz around. I declare. Anyway, would you turn down the mic gain or something just a little bit so I don't have to hear that chair squeak and squawk every time you rear your fat honey back in it, huh? Oh, Lord. Yeah, gotta have a little fun now then. But my darn static crashing. I don't know why I can't hear Mr. Bill this morning. Usually I hear him. It's been a long time, but usually, well, that's usually from the house, I guess, when I talk to him. So maybe it's the direction the antenna is laid out here at this location. I'm pretty sure that's what it is with John and distance, but I usually hear Mr. Bill pretty good. So anyways, it don't matter. We're just enjoying having everybody in here. Pretty big bunch this morning, and I always enjoy getting to chat with y'all. Back over to you, Mr. Grump, WD4OUM, KO4SSY.
Huh. WD4OUE. Well, Billy Bob, don't be talking down to me this morning. I just had one of these wonderful thoughts, old Chad talking about your pup. You know, when you're just a kid, your mama used to hang a pork chop around your neck so the puppy dogs would play with you. Now that's your problem. You forgot all about that. So, if you go to the store today or something and get your big old pork chop and tie a rope to it and hang it around your head, maybe that pup will stay home. So, there. And Steve, talking on the AF-68, piece of junk. It don't do this. If you're going to talk on one, it needs to do that. So, that is what I am talking on and listening on the PMRA. So, if you're looking for an estimator reading, you can stuff it, because I ain't got one. Cheap. But anyway, I don't like estimators, so maybe that's a good thing. Anyway, you talk shelf over here in Burbank. You're sounding good. I wouldn't say I really like that there compressor. Never have cared for one. Never will. I don't know why in the world they put them on radios and stuff. But, you know, people like them. They like to play with them. So that's. But otherwise, You got a great signal and it's sounding good, all except that compressor. You could lose this. And let me see. Cut. No, I didn't get no arthritis shot. I don't know what it was. Shot in my lower spine. Some kind of something. Now, and I do got arthritis down there too, but they didn't do nothing for that. I guess that's the reason I got all this lower back pain. But, oh well. But now there was a guy out the range yesterday offered to give me a shot in the head. But he had this long barrel, 45-70. And I didn't know where he was referring to that or not, but I declined on that. So there you go. And let me see. I guess we'll wind it up there. W4JPL. WD4OUS.
Alrighty. WD4OU, I'm in a group, W4JPL. I swapped microphoniums. This is the other D104 to want to use downstairs. I don't think it's going to sound any different because it's got the same element in it. And I don't know if it's adjusted the same. So maybe what I'll do is if the audio's objectionable, I can look into one of those preamp with an equalizer in it for microphones. See if I can boost up the bass response. I don't want to tear this transmitter apart again. That was more trouble than it's worth. I'll make this a shelf queen before I do that. It's a special day for me. My little girl turns 40. So I'll probably take her out. She's working today, but I'll probably take her out to lunch or something in the next couple of days. But she turns 40 and it just makes me feel a bunch older. However, I'm still breathing, still annoying people. K4YBC in the group, W4JPL.
W4JPL, K4YBC. Okay, John, well, congratulations to your daughter on her birthday. And John, your audio is not objectionable at all. I'm just saying it's a little higher in frequency than I'm normally listening to you. It sounds great. It sounds absolutely great. So no problem, my friend, no problem. And Steve, your AF68 sounds real good. It really does. Mine is over at Cliff's house getting some tender loving care. And they do have good audio, and about all I've ever heard does. And I don't know if mine has that chirp on it like Turi's does or not. I don't know. Nobody's ever said it. Anyway, looking forward to getting that caller back too. Not much else here. Go ahead, Steve. N4LQ, K4YBC.
All right. This K4YBC and 4LQ. Well, I ditched the compressor and now I'm on the straight D104. Right out the cord into the rig. And I didn't get a chance to adjust it, but hopefully it sounds okay. This is an amplified D104. Excuse me, I picked it up at Waynesville from that CB guy in the cow barn. It's supposed to work, and it didn't, of course. I carried a little amplifier with me, a little transistor amplifier, and I took the heads off all the ones he had and hooked them up and picked the one that worked. Some of them did, some of them didn't, and but the bass was messed up when I got home. The battery I think was put in there in 1968 or something. Boy, it was a corroded mess. I pried that out of there, cleaned it up, got the switch contacts clean. They were dirty. the switch contacts on this is one of those Silver Eagle D104s with the cheap chrome on it, and which I don't really care about, but the switch contacts are in the bottom at the base, and the old D104s are up in the stem. They're kind of hard to get to, so that's a slight improvement, I guess. And Terry, your AF68 always sounds good. That little ping is the feedback, I believe, from the. That won't happen unless you got a PMR8 or something in line. I think it's a timing issue. A little bit of feedback for a few microseconds, but it's good. It's almost like a Roger beep. I got another D104, John, you mentioned bass. It's got, I put one of those preamps in it, got on eBay, and it's got a bass and a treble control on it, and a little tiny board in there, FET front end. That works real good. And I use it on sideband, and I can turn the bass up, and there's too much of it. So that really helps. Well, I got a few old transmitters here. I like to swap them around. The other day at Waynesville, I picked up the Viking 1 that K4DEE had remodeled, and I got it on the air. Only trouble is it puts out so much power, I can't use the amplifier, and not enough power. It's only 100 watts, so I like to run. Got the amplifier, might as well use it. So, and my Miko TX86, I got DX60, right now I'm working on DX40, trying to get it working right, trying to push the talk on it. So I'm just a glutton for punishment. And good to meet you, Bill, DDH in Darlington. 32Vs, I never heard a 32V that didn't sound great. That one does too. Wonderful audio on it. Good strong signal. So, Dave, WA4LLR, N4LQ.
Well, I'm about to get a Roger beep going here too. Terry likes that thing because it reminds him of a Browning Golden Eagle. Oh Lord, bad mouth L-Max for years, and then gets one, and that's all he talks on just about. I knew he'd see the light someday. L-Mac is the Cadillac of radios. Oh Lord, I've had them ever since my novice days. That's my novice transmitter, AF67. Let's see here. And Steve, you sound good without the compressor. Of course, the punch of your audio went way down, but I don't hear the flies walking around. So you're sounding fine. Brandon, congratulations, I guess, on selling the VW. I know how you love them and hate to see one go. And Dave, yours don't have the chirp to if I recollect correctly. I don't believe there's a chirp in yours, but I may be having a faulty memory. We'll have to listen close whenever you get it back from Cliff. John, happy birthday to your daughter. I was hoping DB would get in here, Terry, but I guess he's otherwise occupied. Bill, good to hear you. Sounded good down that way. I feel like one time I remember talking to you, and you were receiving on an HQ105TR. I may have you confused with somebody else, but it seemed like at one point you were using a Hammerlin 105TR for a receiver. Correct me if I'm wrong. I picked one of those up a while back. I remember when many years ago, back in the 60s, my dad had one of those back in the early 60s. He had one of those he used on CB. Let's see what else is going on. Yeah, John, I've got a collection of transmitters I try to cycle through. I used to try to cycle through them every week or so, but I've fallen down on the job. A Valiant 1, a Valiant 2, and of course the ART-13 that I'm on this morning, a TX1, a Ranger, BC-610, FT-101AA, and it just keeps going from there. And of course the AF-67. Don't want to be without the Cadillac of radios. But anyway, let's see. Not a whole lot more here, so I will send it on around. Brandon, which one are you on today? W4GUZ, WA4LLR.
Okay, Dave, WA4LLR, W4GUZ. Well, I was lazy again this morning. The Collins 20 V2 is the easiest thing, just to come down here and flip a switch and not touch a thing. I probably do need to look at some of the meters, but they look okay. I don't think I've touched the tuning on it in a couple months. Well, I do need to touch the tuning. Just 1 second. That's more better. Well, I've got a bunch of stuff here, but it's all gibberish. I was half paying attention on the telephone. Dad started early this morning. Well, I've got a pair of LMAX over here. I need to get on the air, but I kind of told myself I was going to stray away from any more radio projects until it cooled down a little bit. So that's probably one of the next ones on my list. Rick, growing up in Darlington, no wonder you hate hot weather. One trip to Myrtle Beach in a 1987 conversion van. We had a flat tire just outside of Charlotte. This is on a Saturday. So we put the spare tire on. We had a flat in Darlington, which was not the spare tire. It was one of the other tires. A big knot come up on it. And we did find a tire shop. Mostly pimp mobiles were in line to receive tires with 20-inch, 22-inch wheels, and the front bounced up and down. And I'm not sure how they categorized taking care of their customers, but we kept getting pushed further and further back on the list. But yeah, nothing more fun than, let's see, we had 3 dogs. Maggie was just a baby, and the sun was beating down, and we stood outside this establishment for, seems like a couple hours before we got our used tire that was almost slick for like $85 or $90, which I really didn't care as long as it held air. And believe it or not, wonderful week at Ocean Lakes. Fixing to pack up. Went outside to put the first suitcase in the back of the conversion van, and we had a flat tire. 3 flat tires in one trip. Long story short, I went to the golf cart repair shop, and reluctantly, at first the guy wasn't even going to let me take the plug kit. I said, I promise I won't tear nothing up. Well, he decided that he'd best go with me, so we hopped on. I rode my bicycle over there. We hopped on a golf cart, made it out of the golf cart impound lot, and it come a crack of thunder and scared him to death. And he said, "Here," and handed it to me, and pulled back into the parking lot. And I rode my bicycle through the pouring rain and fixed the flat. So, but we made it home, and I sold the vehicle. not long after that. This week I've sold a Subaru, Toyota truck, 64 Volkswagen, and a hit-and-miss engine, so I'm a man on a mission, which I can't disclose yet. But anyway, JPL 30 over here. Maybe that last D104 had a few lows in it, but the audio was a little bit low, so you might want to turn it up just a notch. No D104 head that I have found is the same. I've never found two alike. And well, at least Steve, you didn't find a sock in the head of yours like Uncle Dave has many times. And yeah, I visited with Sam yesterday, Dave. Man, Highway 80 looks like a war zone, and so does his driveway. He said he scraped it yesterday, so he must have got a flood yesterday morning. Hello, Bill, down in Darlington. And I guess that's it for now. Everybody's sounding good. Good morning to all. KN4RCL, W4GUZ.
Yeah, and that's a good story about having three flat tires on your way to Myrtle Beach. I've never had a flat tire going to Myrtle Beach, but I guess this is the first time for everything. I usually go down 74 and go that way and get off there at Chadburn, North Carolina, because I like the name, and go in through Tabor City. One day, me and my brother got an argument, and I said I could get us all the way to Myrtle Beach on 2-lane road. And he said I couldn't. So I took him on 2-lane road all the way to Myrtle Beach. I know what I was doing. There's a big prison the state built in 2008 in Tabor City, North Carolina, which you can throw a rock and hit South Carolina from the parking lot. So it went maybe 20 miles from Myrtle Beach. So I won that argument. Went all the way down there on 2-lane roads. Awfulest country you ever did see. Hot. Let me tell you, hot. Bill Bob, I reckon, is there still a Barlow and Murphy? I think there was a Barlow. That's where they got, I think, Rudolph. Big and pretty dumpster out there. But if they don't have a Barlow anymore, I'm sure that Ingles would have that pork chop to hang it around your neck so your dog won't run off. And Rick, I was wondering how many water buffaloes could we stick in that van without overloading it? I'm just wondering. I don't know if we can find a water buffalo or not, but we'll go out there to Yellowstone and get some bison then. KN4RCL, WA for Hotel, Delta Hotel, or I think that's right. Sorry if I butchered it. Bill and Darlington, go ahead.
Hey,
Trying to surrender.
A4DDH still there?
I guess with the sun starting to come out, the snow's starting to creep. So good to hear everybody on here. With a strong this week here in Florence, while we're looking forward to getting to that. We need to get to the guys that are in this Florence
this weekend. We do have a handcrate coming out. Good to be back on here. We've just been in and out. Conditions have been so hot and staticky. Everybody down the road. It's a Whiskey Alpha 4, Delta Hotel.
He's done.
Okay, I believe it's my turn. It's WB4NKL. Bill's sort of light there on that license. I copied part of it. I guess the band's changing. Well, Brandon, you got me real interested in what's coming next. If you've sold all that much stuff, so something big must be coming. Be anxious to hear about that. And Chad, I think the first time I went to Myrtle Beach, it was all 2-lane road, and I didn't have a choice. I don't think there was any 4-lane roads available. So, at least you got choices nowadays. And let's see, Steve, I got the malachite receiver come in yesterday, the blue malachite. And I played around with it a little bit last night. Pretty impressive. I hadn't had it on anything with the little whip yet, but just on the whip, it was doing pretty good. I think I'm gonna like it. I need to get the little box built up now and put it on the antenna. I might do like you do and use it for my main receiver for a while. And let's see, naming transmitters. I don't think I want to get started on that. It might take a while, but. Several transmitters around here and receivers. And the ping in Terry's is just with the PMR8 with that type of receiver. So if you're using, like Cuz using a different receiver, you don't have the ping. And I offered Terry's ping, and he said forget it. He wanted to keep the ping, so I had a cure for it. And let's see, I think I've been working on I got the A54 up at the Hamfest, been playing fiddle a little bit. It's got a bad drive pot. So I'm looking around for one of them, or I might do a little transistor substitution deal with a smaller pod on it. Looks like it might come to life, though. Get the drive pot changed. Needs a complete cosmetic relift. It looks pretty rough, but I think the way those are built, you can take that plate off and repaint the panels and repaint the cabinet. I think it'll look all right when I get done with it. So I'll send it on around. Go ahead, Rick. WK4R, WB4NKL.
WK4R. Let's see. Billy? No, not right now. Just because you said so. John, you sound normal over here to me. And Steve, your audio sounds great over here in Lenore. And Cuz AM68 did not have a chirp. Let's see. Brother Dave, it would have been a whole lot easier for you just to say what you don't have or have not had. I believe it would be a shorter list, kind of like Cliff. But anyway, and Chad, you just need to come down here or over in Burke County, look at the van, get the specs off of it and see what it is, and bring cash. That's all I'll say about it. KL4SSY, WK4.
All righty, mighty fine, Rickless. WK4R, KL4SSY returning. Well, yeah, Cliff, I just kind of glanced around here. There's 10 transmitters that I can see, and I didn't even count the receivers, and I don't know how many I got at the house. Probably that many again, close to it. So we don't need to go there. And Steve, I don't know now. I heard Norm tell Larry one day he was having just a little bit too much power to run his amplifier, he was wanting to run the Ranger into something, which I know is 50, we're around 50 watts, not 100 watts. But he told me, so well, if you run that into a dummy load, and then from there into the amplifier, that'll cut that down enough to operate it. And so he done that, and I've heard him talk on it quite a bit since then. It sounds really good. And then I think Uncle Dave adapted that to one of his that he's running up there. I don't know. You might try that. See if that'll pull that down enough for you to be able to run your amplifier. And darn it, there was something else I was going to say. I'm hearing raindrops hit the roof now, and a while ago, I don't remember who was talking, but there was kind of a boom, and that kind of shook a little bit around here. So some of that stuff's getting pretty darn close. What else was it I was going to say? I don't know. I was probably going to jump on Terry about something, but that'll wait till another day. WD4OUM, pick it up, K04SY.
Was it about that pork chop?
Well, it might have been about the pork chop and the pup, but anyways, and Chadwick's comment about old Dufunky that's locked up yonder in Colorado. I don't remember ever seeing a bilo around here, but I've lived here about 10 years, and there's a lot of places I don't know around here because I go where I need to go, and that's it. I hate traffic. Anyway, back over to you, Terry. K04SY.
WD4OUM. Well, if you get legal, get your driver's license and tags and everything, traffic wouldn't bother you that much. And Steve, you sound great without that piece of junk hooked up. Take and throw that thing in the trash can, get rid of it. But it really sounds good. And Cliff, I wouldn't have this piece of junk if it didn't make that squeal. Hell, man, who in the right mind would want one of these things? Of course, I ain't never been accused of being in, the right state of mind or anything. But I like this little chirp. And cuz don't let none of them yank your chain. When you key up, you definitely have a little clunk. It's if you remember when you had that thing you key up, I'd come in there and holler at you. I knew who it was. Because it's got a definite little clunk. And old Rick used to have that B&W with that bean pot sound. Y'all call it a champagne glass, but to me it sounded like hitting a bean pot with a big old wooden spoon. So, there. Anyway, I like my little squeak. Oh, well, let's see. And Chad, you need to quit running your mouth and just take your a big old pocket full of money and go down to Rick's house and get that bus. I mean, that's you said yesterday that you was going to go down there and get it. So, I'm depending on you to take care of that part of it. So there. And oh, Steve, to answer your question, yes, that was DB. Normally called Dingle Bob, and he does have prostate cancer. So that's who we was talking about. And Brandon, you sold all them vehicles. You can't drive but one vehicle at a time. Let me tell you and Billy Bob and all these other fellas, you can't talk on but one radio at a time. Does that turn on a little light bulb or something? If you get a little flicker there when I say that, and what are you up to? You got you a big whistle to toot and a boiler to drive it with, so and I ain't heard nothing out on Craig lately, so he might be into something. You're trying to outdo him or something. So, oh well. And I ain't got no T-shirt either. So there you go. And John Boy, they ain't no use to go to change the microphones and stuff, because every one of these guys will say you sound different. You sounding good. So there. W4JPL, W4OUM.
Okay, WD4OUM, W4JPL. Well, thanks for the compliment. I think, but Terry, I don't know if I agree 100%. You know, you can only talk on one radio at a time, but there's this rule that says he who has the most wins. I think Cliff got that honor. I don't know what this Malachi receiver Cliff's talking about is, but I'm going to research it a little bit and see what all the fuss is about. I'm using with this 500, I'm using my Cosmic Blue NC270. I really like this little receiver. I like it better than this SX1018 that's sitting beside it, to be honest with you. It's a good playing, good sounding receiver. So, and it don't weigh 90 pounds. That's the other good bit about it. Fellers, I'm going to jump out of here. I'm sitting here looking out the window, and in the field, the grass looks like it's about a foot high. So I think it's a time for me to give it a haircut. So I'm going to go out there and do that before it gets too hot. 72 degrees out, but I'm sure that's going to change directly. So 73, have a great, blessed weekend, and I'll catch up with you fellers on Monday morning. Or maybe sooner if I happen to hear one of you is on there and I turn one of these transmitters on. K4YBC in the group, W4JPL 73.
W4JPL, K4YBC. Okay, John, real fine. Well, if you got to mow grass, you got to mow grass. I'll let mine get behind, and it was a trick to get it all mowed back down. Matter of fact, I had to put the deck up high and cut the grass. Then I dropped the deck back down a notch or two and cut it again. So anyway, that's the story. And I'm going to have to get out of here too, gentlemen. So 7-3s to everybody. Everybody have a great weekend, and we'll talk to you later. Steve, the L-Mac sounds really good. Sounds real good, my friend. Not much else. So 7-3s, everybody have a good weekend. We'll see you on Monday. Informer LQ to take it. K4YBC.
Okay, K4YBC, 73s, and 4LQ, and I think I'll make this my last round too, but I'll probably leave the radio on, leave the Malachite on. Got to be careful not call it a radio. Tell you what, the thing just amazes me. It's got synchronous AM, and you don't notice any fading or phase distortion, and it's really weird. It just sits there and everybody sounds like they're on FM. So I'm glad you got yours, Cliff. And yeah, if you hook a big antenna to it, be sure to get into the hardware menu there. HARD is labeled, and change the antenna to 50 ohms instead of high Z, unless you've already figured that out. There's a lot there, I tell you. But unfortunately, it's my main receiver, and I feel kind of silly with it sitting here. I mean, it fits in the palm of my hand, but it does a better job than even a PMR8 of all things. Good heavens, that's amazing. It's even got more selectivity than a LMAC receiver. And yeah, Billy, I like that 270, that NC 270. It's probably the prettiest receiver ever made. I don't know if it's any good or not, but it sure is pretty. I've got some more here. I got a Latine, I think it's a 240. Don't see many of those around. It's plate modulated. And I've got a Lasco with AM in it, 600, Lasco 600. So I've got this shelf unit, and I've got a stack of transmitters stacked up in there. And when I get the urge, I'll go get a different one and swap them out. And I'm fixing to get the Amico out again and try that processor on it and see what happens. Maybe I can irritate somebody else. So Billy mentioned the dummy load for an attenuator, and I did that. I had this Viking 1 on the air, and I wanted to use the amplifier, and I've got a 3 dB attenuator, and I put that in series with it. Well, that took it from 100 watts down to 50, which was still way too much to drive the amplifier. So then I got my little MFJ dummy and put a coax T on it. Well, that took it down to about 20 watts, I believe, and it was able to drive the amplifier, and that worked. But I thought, this is kind of weird, sitting here just burning up all this power just so I can use more. So I don't know. It's one of those in-between rigs with that 4D32 in it. And Cliff, you mentioned the drive pod on the A54, and I'm thinking, what drive pod? I don't even remember one. I guess there is. So I went to Bama to try to get the schematic, and I brought it up, and it says, enable JavaScript to download files. That's a new one. Enable the JavaScript to download the files. So I guess I need to get JavaScript to download the files now. They've changed something, making it harder to download files, I suppose. But at least I can get to the website. I've had trouble with that lately, off and on. So, all right, we'll turn it over to Dave, WA4LL, RN4LQ.
Okay, Steve, N4LQ and the group WA4LR will 73 to John and Dave and Bill down in Darlington. Yeah, the NC 270 I think was the only blue receiver National made. It's unique for sure. They stand out in a crowd. Well, you're talking about hooking your processor up to another transmitter, see who you could irritate. Well, Terry was born irritated, so don't worry about that. You know how audio is. Everybody will give you a different report. Some people like it loud, some people like it soft, some like it high pitched, low pitched. It's just everybody's got an opinion. But the processor sure gives you punch, and it makes your audio a lot louder. Of course, the only downside is, I guess, all the background noise. But if you're not trying to work through a pile of it, would be nice to have. Well, fellas, I'm going off in search of some nourishment, I think. I've enjoyed it this morning. Hope everybody has a great day. 7-3, God bless, and Lord willing, we'll catch up with you Monday, or maybe Sunday afternoon, somewhere in there. So, Brandon, here it comes. W4GUZ, WA4LR. Have a good one, fellas.
Okay, Dave. You have a good one and a great weekend. ART sounding mighty fine over this way. 73 to John and Bill and Cuz. And Cuz, Terry's LMAX got a little, wussy sounding ping when he keys up. Yours sounds like a 50 amp relay every time you squeeze the microphone. So there you go. And Terry Craig is working a lot, I think, a lot from home, but he is on the road, and he's pretty much parked up on 40 meters. So you're gonna have to move up there, I guess, if you want to catch him on the air. Have a pretty good crew up there when conditions are fit. 72. We've started something new. I think everyone, especially the POTA and SOTA folks, higher portion, top end of 40 meters, and they know how the foreign broadcast is spread out, and what frequencies they're on. So, and I think half of them assume that a big amateur AM signal is foreign broadcast. So we've kind of started splitting hairs and moving off to 7281 or 7288, and that has seemed to discourage slot bucketeers that's sitting in a parking lot somewhere or on top of a mountain from just firing up. And Craig's probably coming down to the house here in the next few weeks anyway. I think I've sold the another hit and miss engine to him. So yeah, here pretty soon I'll be able to disclose what's coming this way. It ain't coming this way yet. I refuse to come in for anything these days if I can help it. Steve, the Malachi is very impressive. I'm sitting here. Hopefully I haven't developed an echo because I do have the volume turned up a little bit here on the computer. Curious if it's got a video out, HDMI, or how you've got that set up, because it looks much better than it did whenever that was, day before yesterday or maybe yesterday morning. Maybe you've got it, both of them locked down somehow, but it almost looks like you're feeding video directly from the unit itself. It sure does sound good even on a YouTube live stream. I guess these disappear after you end the live stream, or maybe not. Maybe I wasn't looking in the correct place, but I tried to look back a few days ago and couldn't find it. I didn't waste much time looking for it. DB, if you're listening, we're praying and thinking about you. And Terry, I think I heard you say that he did get some good or better news, maybe from a follow-up visit. So that's a good thing. I'll hang in here for one more. Yeah, I got time. Then I got to get with it. I've got a couple hoodlums on their way from Burlington up here to get this car. So got to make sure everything important's out of it. Might be a good idea to see if it runs too, because I think they're planning on driving it back on the interstate. The longest trip I've had it on is Kings Mountain and back. But some have seen. But for those that don't know, Steve, I like Volkswagens really low to the ground. I don't know why. They really don't drive that rough if you lower them correctly. But this one, I narrowed the front axle 2.5 inches on each side, which tucked the wheels in, which enabled me to lower the front end. And on the back, the torsion bars are lowered a lot, so far that the spring plates that go back to the axles, I actually had to notch them so they would go up higher. So the front beam of the car, which is the lowest point, is about 2.5 inches off the ground, and the bottom of the motor is about 5 inches off the ground. So, and a funny little sticker that I've had on the back of it. I've had this car for, I don't know, 15, 16 years. California car that my father-in-law actually picked up on his way back from flying to Missoula, Montana, to buy a rollback. So it was definitely a good timing there, but no rust. Hate to see it go, but you can't have everything. But I've got a sticker on the back that says "No fat chicks," where sparks might fly. N4RCL W4G, use it.
My fine, Brandon. And Bob, let me kind of explain what Barrow's used to be. You go past, we turn into Casino, and the road is split. And you go towards the high school, Murphy High School, and it should be there on the left. They changed one of them Barrows a few years ago when Barrows started going under to Slaver Lot. Then they changed the rest of them to Food Line. So that may be a Slaver Lot now to the Barrow. Because I believe the Food Line is over there, next town over. So that's that. And I got a whole big pile of cash here. Comes from the First National Bank, Burbank, and it's got Terry's picture on it. So I don't know if them boys down in Morrison would take Burbank cash. I don't know, they might want American dollars. So I might be on the van if they want to take Terry's money. It's still like new money, you know, and that you can spend it anywhere in Burbank, he said. So we'll go off with that. And KM4RCL. Go ahead, Cliff.
KN4RCL, WB4NKL, 73s, everybody getting out. Now, Steve, if you're still listening, it's got the drive pots, 50K. I guess it's a couple watt. It's a big pot, couple watts, I guess. And I might have one. I just hadn't had a chance to dig around. And also, this A54's got, it's not an H. It's I've got to modify the microphone preamp. It's set up for the carbon mic, so I've got to put a 6AU6 in it, do a little changing. And I've got it hooked up to a bench power supply, playing with it. I've got it wired up to a permanent power supply, but should have it on the air here before too long. We can do some experiments, see if it acts like what yours was acting like. Dave, those National Cosmic Blues, they made I've got a NC 190 and a NC 140. They're that Cosmic Blue too. I don't have a 270, but the 190 and 140 are both, I think the 270's ham band only, and the 190 and the 140's got their general coverage. So they made a whole series of that Cosmic Blue stuff. And let's see, 3 weeks. 3 weeks we'll be down to visit Steve, I guess, at Shelby. Or you'll be down a little quicker, but I'm coming down 3 weeks from today. And September's a busy month. I got that 3 weeks, and then the week after Asheville Museum, and the week after is Kutztown, Pennsylvania, and the week after that's Morristown. So busy time coming up. Go ahead, Rick. WK4R, it's WB4NKL. You going to try to mosey down to Shelby?
WK4R. Well, still unknown, but probably not. It depends whether I need anything or not, I guess. Anyway, I need to get out of here. Hope everybody has a good weekend. I'm unsupervised for a day or two again. So I got to go fix my own breakfast, and I'm getting a little hungry, I think as Dave was, or was that yesterday? I don't remember. But talk to everybody later, 7-3. KO4SSY, WK4R, clear and listening.
All right, 7-3, have a blessed day. Enjoy. And I'm going to say 7-3s, I need to get up front and start trying to see what kind of bull happens today. It's been a week of it so far, so anyways, we enjoyed it this morning. Been quite the crew. And this is Friday, so I don't know if I'll get to chat with anybody over the weekends. I'm sure I'll be on the radio from time to time. So if anybody's around, we'll try to chat. If I look for y'all tonight, maybe we can get on there with Larry and them again, maybe. So 7-3s from here, WD4OUM to pick it up, KO4SSY, 7-3.
WD4OUM. Well, you fellas have a good. And Brandon, while you got old Craig down there, you ought to unload that big whistle on him. That's probably why he's coming down there. You know, he wants to toot that whistle. And did you sell that 52 split window, or you just got it stored somewhere else? I think you told me one time, but you know how it goes. I've slipped since then, so. And I don't guess you've hit a lick on that van you got there in the basement, or used to have there in the basement. I don't know where it's at now. Anyway, last time I seen it, you was trying to straighten the side of it out. So, just curious. And let me see, you got the little pickup and the van that you drive. Is that the only ones you got left? Just curious. N4LQ, WD4OUM.
WD4OUM, N4LQ. Terry, you're the strongest one here, by the way. What are you using an amplifier, and if so, what kind is it?
Yeah, I got this thing going into Heathkit Warrior Modified. It's got a bigger transformer in it, and it's got 572Bs in it. Let me see, it says I'm putting out about 175 watts.
Okay, that is extremely loud. I looked at my S meter, and you're only S8, but you're just, matter of fact, my S meter only shows S8 on me. Huh. Malachite's S meter is kind of lazy this morning, but I know you don't have an S meter, and I don't know how you can live without it. I mean, that's like driving blind. I've got a couple of LMAX here, and that's my one complaint. I built an S meter to match the original League K4VWD. It just happens to have an original S meter that hooks in, got a wired in LMAX Solem, and they're as scarce as hen's teeth, or even more scarce. And so I took pictures of his, and I got the schematic, and I built one, and it's pretty awful. It's just kind of erratic, so I wouldn't bother. So anyway, you just have to do without it. And Brandon, on that lower, I never did lower a car. Back in the 60s, when I was apt to do things like that with cars. The farthest I ever went was I had a Beetle. I had a 65 Beetle, and I reversed the wheels on it. And you just turn them around the other way, and they stick out. And that was cool. And then I used aluminum paint on them. Then I got a Mustang, 65 Mustang, and I got chrome reverse. That was the big rage back then, chrome reverse. They were just regular looking wheels, but they were chrome, and they were kind of backwards and they stuck out a little bit. And baby moons, of course. Baby moons were pretty popular back then. But since then, I've kind of just left them alone. Let's see. I did want to comment on Cliff. Check and see if you can get into Bama, if you would. It said I needed to enable JavaScript, and I've gone in and it was already enabled. So I don't know what their problem is, but they messed up something. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to just one of these days when I get this thing working, I need to just download every single one of those files that they've got on there for every rig ever was and put them on a thumb drive and just keep them. That way I won't have to fool with them anymore. So there you go. 73s to everybody that's gone, and I think it still goes to Dave. WA4LLR, N4LQ. I guess it goes to Brandon.
I think he went after the biscuit. Guess so. Steve, break. Does that thing have a video port, or are you just using a highly stable camera sitting in front of it? Uh-oh, I see a little glare on the screen now, so I guess that answers my question. Over.
That glare is from my D104, the base. And man, the trouble with the screen is everything glares, and I have to be careful with it. But the D104 Chrome is just a real pain. So yeah, it doesn't have any video port. It's got a USB, and supposedly you can run HD, SDR, and all the usual stuff with it. I just don't care. I don't care to interface it with a computer because that's what I like about it. You don't have to use a computer. Nope. I got a little webcam. Let's see. It's a Logitech webcam sitting right in front of it on a piece of shelf's anti-slide rubber stuff, so it won't move. That's all there is to it.
Well, it's doing a good job for sure. Definitely a neat little rig. And to me, the compressor wasn't a bad thing, but now you need to find you a vintage downward expander or a very light noise gate, something along those lines. But you definitely could hear a pin drop on the other side of the room with it on, but it did make you louder. Sure. You said it was from the 50s. That's I wonder what brand it is. Terry, I've still got the 52 split. That was well, I was going to pass that one along to my daughter, but that's not going to work out. So I'm not sure what I'll do with it, but I'm not parting with it anytime soon. So currently, what I have that is tagged and on the road is the 52 split, 65 with the turbo in it, 66 original paint, no rust bus, the 61 single cab with the wagon canvas cover over the cab, or over the bed rather, And the 67 Westy walkthrough project that's never ending, that I've had since 1999 or 2000, somewhere right in there. It was actually a topic of conversation yesterday when I was at Dad's early yesterday morning, but we are going to get the transaxle in the front end under it here as soon as my back will allow it. Which, by the way, is getting better daily, slowly, but it is getting better. Still feel like there's a very, very short fuse there that it wouldn't take much to screw it up again, so I'm trying to be careful. But once I get the that rotisserie out from underneath it, per se, and get the original wheels on it, and which will get it down about a foot lower to the ground where I can actually work on the roof. The rear quarter behind the rear corner up high behind the window, I lack that and a few little spots on the roof, and then it will be ready for paint. But that probably will not happen this year. Hopefully the body work will be completed, but I'm not even considering having it painted by winter. I'd like to, but that means dragging it to Spruce Pine to Dad's paint booth, and probably won't have time to do that before the snow falls. 73 to everyone, and hope everybody has a good weekend. And I'll try to listen out this afternoon if anybody's around. Enjoy the weekend, and we'll catch y'all later. Ken for RCL, I think you're still there. Up on the cool mountain, 73 W4GUZ.
AM on the cool mountain up here in Burnsville. 73 friend on, I say 73 also, but I'm going to keep it on. And hopefully, Cliff, me and you and Larry and Tommy and Billy and all of us can get back in here this evening and talk a little spell. KM4RCL. Go ahead, Cliff.
Okay, Chad. Yeah, we'll try to do that. I've got to run to Johnson City for a while after lunch, and but I'll be back around. And Steve, he can join us. He's been getting into the evening some and complaining about nobody being there. So we'll try to be around, Steve. I brought that up, Bama, and it's telling me the same thing. I need to enable JavaScript, it says, so I haven't done that yet. I'll have to get back over there and give that a try. So I guess they have changed something this go around. Somebody hacked into something I've got. I had all kinds of trouble the day before yesterday. I was getting emails about Facebook, emails about Amazon, and about any account I had, people were trying to change my passwords. And I finally got in and changed all the passwords, and it's sort of settled down now. But I don't know what they got into. Anything that had my email address as a username, they were trying to get into it and change passwords. And they were successful on Facebook, which I'm not. I check Facebook about once a month, and I got a message from them that they'd added an address, and then the next thing they did was drop my email address, and then they changed the password. But I was able to recover it, got hold of those folks and kicked the guy back out. But I seen today he's trying it again. Whoever it is, Facebook sent me a message. Don't know if I wanted to change the password. Oh goodness, I don't know what's the matter with these people. On the Amazon, I've got an Amazon account, and they tried to change the password, and I got a message, that They give me a temporary thing to log in with. And then they started calling this 800 number on my cell phone, wanting that password, but the 800 number, when I checked on it, it wasn't Amazon, it was FedEx. That's who it was assigned to. So I never did give them the password. But somebody's been persistent. That 800 number, I think they called 69 times to my cell phone. I finally blocked it. Somebody's on top of me trying to get into my stuff. So I think I'll just unplug everything and forget about computers. So go ahead. Whoever's left, is it go back to Billy or Terry or WB4NKL?
Yeah, I'm still here. But, oh well. And Cliff, yeah, you just ain't done no good on finding me a meter for this amplifier. I just said, you're looking at that thing. Of course, I don't need it no how. I don't never look at it. But anyway, oh well. Well, you fellas have a good weekend. We'll catch you when we catch you. You still in there, Steve? N4LQ, WD4OUN.
Yeah, I just happened to be here, but not for too much longer. Trying to remember, somebody asked me something. Oh, the Bama site. Yeah, it's broke. I mean, there's something wrong because I've got JavaScript enabled, and that's a default. Never had to use that before. And I made sure it's enabled, and I even tried using Microsoft Explorer or Bing or whatever that thing is, Edge. It doesn't work either. It tells me the same thing. I don't know how to get a hold of these people to tell them it's broke. Bama, I think that's a college in Alabama. Anyway, see y'all later, 73s. Back to Brandon if you're still here. N4LQ, go ahead.
No, I think everybody's got out. I was going to tell you, Steve, that LMAC I fixed up for Chuck N4IYQ. I had to build him a power supply, and I incorporated the meter, that old LMAC circuit, and put a meter in. I didn't have a meter rated in S units, but I had one for correct current. So he's got an S meter on his, except it reads out something crazy, but he's got an indication anyway. Worked out okay. 73s, and catch y'all later on. It's WB4NKL now, clear.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I built this thing to exact specifications and put it in a nice little meter case and all that. I didn't have a calibrated S meter scale, but it's the same full scale. I think it's like a 1 milliamp or something like that. And it jumps around. It looks okay, I guess. It's just not very friendly to watch. It seems like it's not linear, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, too many wires to fool with. So I got this PMR6, and that's got a 455 kCIF. And I put one of these little Chinese, filters in it, 455 kC crystal chip. It's a tiny little thing, and boy, oh boy, that thing is. I put one in the first IF, and man, that just totally transformed that receiver. It's a really nice AM receiver. I put one in the third IF, and it was just too much, so I took that back out. Anyway, if you ever get the urge for an LMAC and you want selectivity, that's the easy way to do it. Get a PMR6. 73s, I may talk to you later. This N4LQ. Good evening.